What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing today? Hope y'all are doing fantastic. Appreciate you for being here. Today we're back with another Why We Carry episode, Why We Carry, and we're going to talk. We got a couple articles here to read, and we've also got a what not to do when carrying a firearm. I try to throw some of those in that, kind of this is what you don't want to do. This is like a mistake. Some of the not necessarily reasons not to carry. You should always carry, but just some of the reasons you got to be careful. Things you got to kind of just because people they get a gun, they carry a gun, they think they're all set, they think they're good, and this is why I carry. I carry because of this, but just to show you that you've got to be vigilant, you've got to be aware, you've got to have your situational awareness, you've got to know, so that way bad things like this story doesn't happen. So it's something like that. But anyway, the first one is a Why We Carry, and this was from February 5th, so it's 2025, so it's been a few days. Today's the 15th, so it's been 10 days. So it's a little old, if whatever. Some of you may have heard about this, but the article comes from concealednation.com. I get a lot of theirs, or .org or whatever. I get a lot of these articles from there. You're more than welcome to go check it out and read up on some of these on your own if you're interested. If not, I'll gladly share them here on YouTube, and you don't have to. But anyway, the first one is an armed pilot stops a teen during an attempt plane takeover in Arkansas. Attempting to take over an airplane. A teen trying to take over an airplane. Sounds interesting. Let's read on. Texarkana, Arkansas. Texarkana. I actually know some people, or at least did know some people that at least used to live in Texarkana. I used to live out in Arkansas. It's been a long time since then, but it is what it is. But yeah, I know some people that have lived in Texarkana. Authorities arrested an armed teenager in Texarkana Regional Airport early Tuesday morning after he attempted to gain access to an aircraft. The situation unfolded around 7:30 a.m. when the teen, carrying both a rifle and a handgun, approached Signature Aviation and demanded a plane. It's kind of a short article, doesn't get into a whole lot of detail. It's just a 2-pager, so it'll go kind of quick. But the suspect then moved towards the airfield where private planes are housed. A private business pilot noticed the teen and quickly intervened. Drawing his own legally owned firearm, the pilot ordered the teen to surrender. The suspect complied and was disarmed and remained detained until law enforcement arrived. Texarkana, Arkansas police took the teen into custody without incident. He now faces multiple charges, including aggravated assault, attempted aggravated robbery, and first-degree terroristic threatening. Officials transferred him to a juvenile detention center. Fortunately, no injuries were reported. Authorities have not yet determined why the teenager sought access to an aircraft. The incident highlights the importance of vigilance and preparedness in public spaces, particularly in sensitive locations like airports. Safety tip: situational awareness is key to stay safe in any environment. Always be mindful of your surroundings, identify potential threats, and have a plan in case of an emergency. So yeah, I don't know what that one exactly is all about, but at the time of this recording and about the time this article came out, there's a couple of planes go down. One went down in Pennsylvania, and the other one went down in New York, something like that. I don't remember where, Washington, D.C. or something. I think it was Washington. But there was a couple planes. One collided with a helicopter, and the other one just kind of went down, so I don't know. And I haven't read a whole lot into the details of those, but I just know that there's been a couple planes go down, and who knows if, about the time of this recording and this article, could it have been related to something like that? Who knows? This article didn't really go into detail about that. It was just a quick little thing, and most of these are just like quick 2-pagers, 1 to 2-page articles, so they don't take very long to read, but like I said, they don't really they didn't really go into a whole lot of detail. They didn't really tell us the kid's motive or anything, but a good reason to carry a gun. You know, a good guy with a gun stopped a bad guy with a gun. And they did it without anybody having to get injured, shot, you know, anything like that. Even the suspect didn't get shot. So it's a good day, you know, when somebody stops a gunman from even shooting anybody. I don't know if, you know, like I said, we don't know what his motive was yet. They may by now, but I don't. The article didn't say, so. And I haven't really looked into the details much more, but anyway, the next one, San Antonio barber shop owner shoots armed robber dead in self-defense. San Antonio, Texas. An attempted robbery at a San Antonio barber shop ended in a fatal shooting Wednesday evening when one of the business owners fought back. According to the San Antonio Police Department, a man entered the barber shop in the 2000 block of Base Road around 7:30 p.m., demanding wallets and purses while brandishing a firearm. When one of the owners, a 26-year-old man, did not comply fast enough, the suspect struck him with the firearm. The armed robber then turned his attention to a 51-year-old female co-owner, pulling out zip ties, possibly in an attempt to restrain her. Seizing the opportunity, the male business owner drew his own firearm and fired multiple shots, striking the suspect in the chest. Emergency responders transported the wounded suspect to a local hospital with life-threatening injuries. Later, the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed the suspect had died. Authorities stated that the business owner had the legal right to use deadly force in self-defense, and no charges are expected to be filed. The role of firearm ownership in self-defense incidences highlights the importance of responsible firearm ownership and situational awareness. Everybody talks about situational awareness. I think more gun tubers need to discuss situational awareness a little bit more. Some do, but situational awareness is a big deal. The business owner was able to defend himself and his colleague against a violent threat, preventing further harm. Texas law permits the use of lethal force in situations where a person is facing an imminent and credible threat of serious injury or death. Incidents like this emphasize the value of firearm training, ensuring that responsible citizens know how to react effectively in life-threatening situations. Safety tip. If you own a firearm for self-defense, regular training is essential. Understand local laws, practicing firearm handling, and improving situational awareness can make all the difference in high-stress situations. Basically, situational awareness, I try to preach this as much as I can. It's like anywhere you go, you know what's around you. Pay attention. Don't just sit there with your face in your phone or your earbuds in so you can't hear anything. Look around. You know, notice people, notice things. Look for ways in, ways out. You know, if you have to, if all you have is to escape, if that's all you can do, know your ways out. Look around as you're walking in, and say you're walking into your bank. There's other way. There's usually a back way out of the bank. Most banks have a back door, a side door, or something. Know that way so you can dart out of there pretty quick if needed. Even post offices, some of these places that you're not technically supposed to carry your gun. You know, you do you if you want to carry in there. But some of these federal buildings, even post offices, some hospitals say no guns, gun free. You know, if you can't carry it in there and you choose not to carry it in there, know your ways in, know your ways out. Look for hiding spots, look for concealment, cover, whatever, look around, just keep aware of what's going on around you, because you never know when the threat's going to happen or when the incident's going to happen. I try to preach that a lot. Know where you're at. Don't just sit there with your phone, with your face in your phone or your whatever, or your earbuds in, just looking at the ground, look around, notice people. Don't stare at them, but notice people. Like, okay, none of these guys look threatening, or he looks like he could be. I gotta, keep an eye on him. He looks kind of sketchy or whatever. Just keep, just say it. Situational awareness. Anyway, next one is a what not to do. This is that one where, things can happen. That's why you get training. That's why a lot of us preppers and these gun gurus and these guys, they preach some of this stuff. They preach training and they preach, identifying your target. Like this one here is not identifying your target quite well. And the headline, wife shot when husband mistakes her for an intruder and doesn't check his target. He just saw it. It was dark. Maybe he just saw a shadow in his house and went bang and shot his wife. Castle Rock, Colorado. A man very nearly killed his own wife last week when he mistook her for an intruder and opened fire with his home defense firearm. Denver 7 reports. She survived the shooting, and thus far no one has been charged, but this all could have been much worse, as Denver 7 reports. A husband in Castle Rock mistakenly shot his wife at their home late Friday night because he thought she was an intruder, police said Saturday. Joe Seibert, a spokesman for the Castle Rock Police Department, told Denver 7 it happened around 10 p.m. in the house of Howe Street and Endured, bad with names, Boulevard. The woman who was only identified as being 33 years old was shot in the abdomen, according to the police. She is expected to survive. Seibert said the 31-year-old man is not under arrest for the shooting because there is no indication of foul play at this time. He told our partners at Denver Post he does not know what led the man to believe his wife was a home intruder, other than hearing a noise and thinking someone was breaking in. Well, that's all you really need to believe that your wife is in fact a home intruder if you ignore all rules of firearm safety. Or, let me say that again. Well, that's all you really need to believe that your wife is in fact a home intruder if you ignore all the rules of safe firearm handling. All the rules, the rules, we harp on these rules all the time, and one of them is know your target. This isn't the first time we've seen a man or woman mistakenly shoot their significant other. It's not even the 10th time we've seen it. Failure to identify a target and what's behind it leads to multiple injuries each year. Plus, it makes us all look bad. Yes, it does. It makes people look bad that, the few ruin it for the many. Those few that don't, you can't just point and shoot and in the dark. You've got to know what you're shooting. Period. You got to identify your target. PID, positive identification of the target. Folks are often tempted to act faster. Folks are often tempted to act faster. They can think clearly in what may be a dangerous situation so that the perceived threat is immediately knocked out of play. Neutralizing the threat is good as long as it's actually the threat. You can't let either fear or adrenaline be in the driver's seat of your mind. That's not just for your sake. That's for your friends, neighbors, and family too. Stay safe out there, folks. Know the firearm rules. These gun guys, these YouTubers, these, gun owners, when you go to buy a gun, when you go to take your concealed carry courses, they harp the 5 basic rules. Keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot it. These aren't in any order, but keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot it. Don't point it at anything you're not willing to shoot. Identify your target and everything around your target, and don't point at act as though it's loaded. Always act as if it's loaded. Gun's always loaded. Mine right here. It's loaded. Keep my finger off the trigger. Don't point it at anything. And keep it out of reach of children. But anyway, you know the rules. Every single rule. It's been harped in your brain and harped in your brain and harped in your brain. You've got to make sure you're shooting at what you want to shoot at. Make sure the threat's a threat. It's good that he had the wherewithal to know, hey, there might be something going on, and he got up to check it out. But people get trigger happy. They think that, You look over and your wife's not laying in bed next to you. It's probably her. Just saying. Anyway, that's the video. Appreciate you watching. Don't do dumb stuff. Carry a gun, but get training, get practice, learn the 5 basic rules, study them, etch them in your brain. And again, if something happens, I know it's adrenaline. I know you're scared. But seriously, it's very important. You follow the rules. This guy almost killed his wife. Could have very easily killed her. Shot her, and luckily she's still alive. But still, and no charges. I don't know. I'm kind of partial on that. You shoot. I don't know. Should they charge him with something? It's hard to say. I don't know enough of the details whether I would charge them, but it sounds like it was a mistake, but a mistake almost cost your wife her life. Is it really worth it? Do your home, do your, stay aware, but know the rules. Be safe. Carry a gun. Stay safe. Appreciate y'all. Love you. Again, carry a gun. Don't let stories like this get you, worry you about it. Just get the right training, get the training. But because of the other 2 stories I read, that's why you carry. But this one, it like it said, it makes us look bad, and it makes people think that, see, you don't need guns. See, he accidentally shot his wife. But those are fewer than the good stories. The good stories are better. And people don't talk about those ones. They don't talk. The media doesn't come in and say, "Yeah, look at this. He stopped a plane hijacking. What was he going to do with that plane?" They don't talk about that, but they'll talk about the one where he shot his wife and almost killed her to make us look bad. So don't make us look bad. Be good. Do your, follow the rules. Anyway, starting to ramble. Appreciate y'all. Love you. Do the YouTube-y stuff. Channel's still demonetized, so links will be below if you feel like donating. If not, cool. Just, hit the subscribe button if you feel like it. I'm trying. We're growing a little bit. But anyway, appreciate you. Love you. See you in the next one.